Hi, my name is Shane, and up for review today I have a Yamaha Stage Custom Birch Kit in Raven Black. I'll play it a little bit, then we'll come back and I'll give you all the dimensions and the tuning specs. We'll talk about it, and I'll give you an overview of the entire kit. Check it out. All right, Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. Great sounding kit. It's actually the fourth Yamaha kit I've owned, which should tell you something right there. I've gone through a recording custom, which is also birch. I had a beech custom. I got rid of both of those. I currently have a maple custom absolute, which I'll keep until the day I die. And new to the family are the Stage Custom, which of course are all birch. 10 by 7 inch tom, 12 by 8, 14 by 13, and 16 by 15. The two rack toms. On the drum dial, I have 76 on the top, 78 on the bottom. The 14-inch, I have 75 on the top and bottom. And the 16-inch, I have 74 on the top and bottom. The kick drum is a 22 by 17. I have that just barely over finger tight. Snare drum, 14 by 5.5. On the top, I have 88. Bottom 80 on the drum dial. I'm going to let you hear all the toms individually with the snare drum mic. Then I'll go back and jam a little bit more. Also on the previous jam and the one coming up, the toms and cymbals are all coming through the Zoom H4n, which is right above my head. Inside the kick drum, Shure Beta 52, and I've got a 57 on the snare. So I'll let you hear those toms. All right, there you have it, Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. Great kit. I'm very, very happy with it. As you can see, I've got pinstripe heads on the tops of all the toms, and on the bottoms I have just the stock heads, which are about ambassador weight. Also made by Remo, but I think they're made in China. They're actually pretty good for the bottom, and I saved all the tops, which I'll then use for my second set of bottoms. On the snare, Remo coated ambassador on the top, and clear snare side ambassador on the bottom. The kit was $650. That was for the snare, 10, 12, 16. The 14-inch tom was another $150. I like to, when I buy a kit, just go ahead and get all the toms that I think I'm ever going to need in case they get discontinued. Also available are the 8, the 13, and the 18, and there's also an 18-inch kick. So if you wanted to have one kit and be able to cover, all situations from, straight ahead jazz to heavy rock, everything's available in the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. I love the sound. The pinstripes sound great on Birch. I've had them on a number of different Birch kits. They always sound good. A lot of people don't like how boingy they kind of sound. I think they're great. So I'm going to give you a nice little tour of the kit. We'll get some close-ups of the finish and all the hardware, and you can check it out. But definitely cannot go wrong if you're a pro, if you're a beginner. This is just a great sounding kit at all price range, or for all all levels of playing. All right, there you have it, Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. Great kit. I'm loving the sound. The toms sound great. The kick is awesome. The snare's kind of temperamental. I've had to mess with it quite a bit, especially the strainer to get it to sound right. I think another snare strainer there might help out. You will notice that I have pinstripes on the tops of all the toms. I think they'll sound very good on Birch. I've used them on a number of different kits. A lot of people don't like them. I'm not one. I think they sound great. On the bottoms of all the toms, I have these stock heads, which are actually Remo ambassadors, but they're made in China. They sound pretty good on the bottoms, and I've kept all the tops. That will be my second set of bottom heads. On the snare, I've got the Remo coated ambassador on the top and the clear snare side ambassador on the bottom. And the stock heads on the bass drum. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a tour of the kit up close. We'll look at the finish and some of the hardware, and then we'll take it from there. Great, great kit at any... All right, there you have it. All right, there you have it, Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. Great kit. As you can see, I have the pinstripe heads on the tops of all the toms, and I have the stock heads on the bottom, which are actually Remo ambassadors, but they're made in China. They sound good for the bottoms. I kept all the tops, and those will be my second set of bottoms. On the snare, I have Remo coated ambassador top, clear ambassador snare side on the bottoms there. And on the kick, just the stock heads. I use those a lot on the kicks. They usually do a pretty good job, and there's just a blanket inside there to muffle the head a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a tour of the kit. We'll look at the finish and all the hardware. Great kit for any type of player. Beginner, great first kit. I would have loved to have something like this as my first kit. I play out quite a bit, and I've got a number of kits. This is a great recording drum set for me. If you're a pro, you want a practice kit or something you can not worry about, that's a little lower in price. Can't go wrong. It was $650 for the 5-piece, the snare, 2 mounted toms, and the 16. The 14 was another $150. 5 different finishes. They all look great. Don't think you can go wrong with this one. All right, I'm going to do a quick walk around of the kit. The audio sounds a little different now. It's because it's coming straight out of my GoPro camera. The snare drum, pretty nice. Got the 10 lugs. Got the Yamaha throw off. Not really beefy and slightly stiff, but does the job. This is not actually the best sounding snare drum that I've ever heard. I had to fiddle with the snare strainer quite a bit to get a good sound out of it. So I don't think I'm going to use this as my primary. I'll probably go ahead and keep using my copper Yamaha drum, but this would be really good as an auxiliary side drum. The 10 lugs that let you tune it up really high, good for a backup, that kind of thing. Then we got the the 6 lugs on both the mounted toms, the 10 and the 12, 6 lugs on the 14, and 8 on the 16. The bass drum has got 7 plies, 7 millimeters. The toms and snare, 6 plies, 6 millimeters. Everything's got those old absolute style lugs. Those are really nice. I had those on my recording custom kit. Pretty lightweight, nice and classy looking. Of course, got Yamaha's famous triple tom holder. For some reason, this part right here and the wing nuts are matte. Everything else is shiny. Kind of looks a little strange. The Yes mount, of course, Yamaha has been using that one for a long, long time. Kind of worries me sometimes, to be honest, that all the weight of the drum is just on those 2 little bolts. I'm always afraid I'm going to crack something. I never have. Even a 16-inch tom mounted with that holds up pretty well. It just feels kind of flimsy. Got that really cool-looking badge, kind of a bronze look to it. You'll see also that these drums are really, really glossy. I mean, you can clearly see my reflection in there. No wood grain at all, just the glossy black, which is amazingly well done. I mean, Yamaha has been finishing pianos with this for decades. It looks awesome. Very good. All right, over to the floor toms. The floor tom leg brackets are pretty basic. They've got the post style that just kind of jams right up to the floor tom leg. I actually had one of them fail on me on my first gig with this kit on the 16. So you want to make sure those are cinched down pretty tight. A little scared I'm going to strip one of them, but that's what you get in kind of a mid-level kit. So there she is, gorgeous kit, all black. I was a high school metalhead. I can't believe this is the first black kit I've ever owned, but there she is. Again, the whole thing goes for $650 right now. It's 2015, so $650 for the 5-piece without the 14-inch floor tom. The 14-inch goes for another $150. Also, the 8, the 13 available, the 18-inch floor tom, and the 18-inch kick drum. So you could really just have basically any size you could ever want. I don't think there's a 24-inch bass drum yet, but that's something they may add at some point. So there she is. I'm really, really happy. Yamaha's just got great sounding drums, whether they're made in Japan, made in China. Their quality control is impeccable. The only problem I've ever had is the ball joints. This thing will strip out, and that happens on basically all Yamaha toms eventually, or tom holders eventually. But other than that, no major flaws. Gotta love it.